These captions before I begin, under the when you put the subtitles on, just doesn't read my accent at all. It said I was a violin player or a viola player earlier today. So let's just see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com. No idea what it said down there, but I'm sure some of you will bloody tweet me telling me, won't you? And it's my favourite time of the week because it's time for Wrestlers of the Week. That's right, what a week it's been. The culmination of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament over in New Japan. Also, some goings on in WWE and some goings on in Impact Wrestling as well. Various things from across the globe, around the world of wrestling, but not to sell this video short at all because it's very important. It's a very important week, but next week, man. Next week's going to be something else. But let's concentrate on the here and now, and let's take a look at all of my Wrestlers of the Week. First off, some honourable mentions. I would like to give a shout out to Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan over at Impact Wrestling, because they just had a fight in the woods, like the main event. It wasn't even a match in the ring, they just went out to the woods and just battered each other. Well, Eddie Edwards battered Sami Callihan. It was alright, it was quite entertaining. Not really my cup of tea, to be honest with you, but it was inventive and unique. So I guess, you know, it deserves a mention, even though they didn't get any points for it, according to my own rating system. Also a shout out to El Desperado, who had his mask ripped off during his match against Dragon Lee this week in the Best of the Super Juniors, and just continued to wrestle. And you could see his face at some points, but his hair was long and he kind of managed to hide himself for a lot of it. So well done for continuing to wrestle a lot of the match without a mask, Desperado. Good lad, really good stuff. I feel like there was someone else. I was going to give a shout out to. Oh, Ciampa and Gargano. They didn't wrestle, but they beat each other up a bit on NXT. Loved it. Really looking forward to their street fight. I cannot wait for that. Yes. Right, that's all the honourable mentions out of the way. Let's get cracking and look at our number 10. Number 10 this week, Be Still My Beating Heart, because after 23 weeks of Wrestlers of the Week, it's Becky Lynch. It's Becky Lynch. I could cry. Now, as everyone I'm sure knows, in the 2.5 years I've been a wrestling YouTuber, it's become almost a running joke that I'm a big fan of Becky Lynch. I just think she's fantastic and seems like a lovely woman too. Not that that's got any bearing on her wrestling ability. She's very technically solid. She's wonderful. She's strong, fantastic. I'm so happy. She had a good match with Charlotte on SmackDown, and Becky, to be honest, right, even since she was it was a while ago now, since she was SmackDown Women's Champion, she hasn't really had much go her way, really. I thought she may have been a contender for the Women's Royal Rumble, didn't happen at all, and now I really hope she wins Money in the Bank, but this has been her biggest victory for a while. She didn't just beat Charlotte Flair, who's like the Triple H of the women's division in WWE. She made her tap out as well. It was a monumental result for her. The match was fairly short, it was sub 10 minutes, but at the same time, pretty good stuff from two women who've wrestled each other countless times and know each other's game inside out. So, well done, Becky. I'm just so pleased. I feel like that was a long time coming, and now finally she's on the list and I can just move on. I can just carry on with my life. But I hope she wins Money in the Bank as well, get some more points, and really get up the list, Becky. Come on. I believe in you. Number 9, a man who's been frequenting this list quite a lot in the past few weeks, Dragon Lee. Yeah, man, he had a really impressive Best of the Super Juniors tournament. He was the dude in the match with Desperado that I mentioned who ripped his mask off. So basically, there's rumours, right, that this match is going to set up a mask versus mask match further on down the line in New Japan, which would be tremendously exciting. I'd be very excited for a good old mask versus mask clash, even though I've met Desperado and seen him without his mask on before, so it wouldn't be, personally, I wouldn't get as much enjoyment out of it as many other people would, but at the same time, I think it'd be a very good encounter if this match in the tournament was anything to go by. Dragon Lee started off this match at 200 miles an hour. There was a bit of back and forth. Desperado was kind of mocking him at the start, so Dragon Lee just dived on him outside the ring, full tilt. It was amazing. The rest of the match was pretty good. Dragon Lee just turned in a very solid performance, and I think is well worth the 2 points that he's going to get from this placing on the list. Well done, Dragon Lee. One of the big standouts of the tournament for me. Well done. Number 8, Sho Tanaka from Roppongi 3K. Now tomorrow at Dominion, which me and Sam will be watching, by the way, as I try to wrench back the Cultaholic Heavyweight Championship. The Roppongi 3K have a tag team match for the Junior Heavyweight Championships against Suzuki Gun, including El Desperado, but they rounded off their singles sort of stint in the Best of the Super Juniors tournament with some good matches. Sho had a match against Marty Scurll and won. It was a big win for Sho Tanaka, maybe the biggest singles win of his entire career so far. And just generally the story of him over the course of the tournament has been, right, little Roppongi 3K history lesson. They were both young lions. Then they went over to Ring of Honor and got paired up in a tag team. And everyone was like, you know what, show's decent. Yo is the one to watch. He's the future star. He's the really good wrestler of the two. And this tournament has changed a lot of people's opinion. Now people are saying, you know what, Sho Tanaka looks a little bit like Okada. He's really got the potential there to be something special, which I really enjoy as well. Good match against Skull. Lovely blonde hair, cheeky face, admirable personality, enthusiastic entrance music, and big penis, presumably, as well. Next up, let's take a trip to my favourite promotion, Defiant Wrestling, who had one of the better matches in company history, actually. It was a triple threat for the Internet Championship between Travis Banks, Zack Sabre Jr., and this man, Walter, who has been one of the most impressive wrestlers of 2018 so far. He won the match, and it was an excellent, fast-paced affair. Three guys who really know each other well. I've seen Travis Banks and Zack Sabre Jr. have an excellent singles match together, just like with my own eyes, and it was brilliant. And I remember backstage afterwards, Travis Banks came through and he was like, that was sick. He was like so pumped up because the match was a really good one. Everyone knows that Walter and Zack Sabre Jr. have good matches too. And then in progress, Travis and Walter have had some interactions and a few little skirmishes here and there themselves as well. So this was really three guys who know each other really well and always bring out the best in each other. And Walter won, and it was just another really impressive performance by the big Austrian, one of the best wrestlers, as I say, of 2018. One of the best matches in Defiant Wrestling history, alongside, I'll just name some others off the top of my head. Ospreay Kirby was wonderful. The one where Pachi turned heel, hilarious when he pushed Kirby off the thing. And everyone showered the ring with glow sticks. And loads more as well, countless more. Yeah, Cody Rhodes versus Kurt Angle, brilliant stuff. But this was the best of the new Defiant Wrestling era. So good job, lads. Onwards and upwards. I wonder what Progress have got to say about it, because they've been booking similar sort of feuds at the same time. So maybe there's a bit of friction there. But I guess we'll just find out when someone gets annoyed and goes on Twitter from either party. I'm not picking sides. Not at all. Number 6, Kishida, the former ace of the junior heavyweight division. That's right, I've said former ace, because I think Ospreay's taken that crown by now. Although, no, Kishida can still be considered the ace, can't he? He's still like the senior member of the junior division. He still has awesome matches with everyone. I was just proven this week. He had a really good match with Dragon Lee and an excellent match with his old rival, Romeu Takahashi. The story basically was that to progress to the final, Takahashi had to get a win over his old foe Kishida, and did. But Kishida was like really bravely standing in his way. And this match made me a little bit sad, because I thought, you know what, Kishida was such a boss for the past few years, and now what is there for him? Because now guys like Ospreay and Takahashi kind of taken over his position. So what's he going to do? I think he's too small to progress to the heavyweight division. I don't really know what's left for him. Hopefully he just sort of sticks around and gets another few shots at the title, continues to put on great matches with people. But yeah, even though he's number 6 this week and gets a big 5 points, I just feel a bit bad for Kishida. I hope he's alright. Are you alright, mate? Give me a call if you... He definitely doesn't remember me. Definitely not. Number 5, Flip Gordon, a controversial figure in the wrestling world, because what you know when people criticize like people like Ospreay and Ricochet, more Ospreay to be honest, and they say, oh, they just do flips, there's no structure, there's no storytelling. And it's not true. If you watch an Ospreay match, it's packed with storytelling, but that criticism could be a little bit more applicable to someone like Flip Gordon, who is a far more raw talent, hasn't yet refined his game very much compared to guys like Ospreay and Ricochet. He does kind of get accused of being a spot monkey at times, but as a few people said on Twitter this week, this stint in New Japan, this little run in the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, has improved Flip Gordon's game leaps and bounds in such a short space of time, because apparently now there's a marked difference between like the spot monkey sort of antics of, you know, months prior, and now when he's more measured. He's still very frantic and very flippy, of course, it's in his name, but he's managing to be more mature about his wrestling, I guess is the way to describe that. He had a match with Ospreay, which was, you know, a little bit spotty, as you'd imagine, two very flippy guys, and yes, it was just fantastic. Flip almost pulled out a big win, would have probably been the biggest win of his career, may have got him booked on All In, but he's still not booked. Not like Matthew Botchamania Matthew, who's never stopped bragging since they've invited him out to All In, have they? But I digress. Flip Gordon, yes, very impressive performance here. You know, good value for his role in the tournament. He was never going to win the thing. His defeat allowed Ospreay a glimmer of hope, which we'll get to in a second, because the storytelling on that penultimate day was absolutely spot on. So well done, Flip Gordon. Yes, bright things in his future if he continues to refine his game. That sounds so serious. It's literally just wrestling. It's just pretend fighting, and I take it so seriously. Number 4. Now, all right, earlier I talked about how Tanaka in Roppongi 3K is now the one everyone's like, ooh, he's quite... They do like that as well. They go, ooh, he's quite dishy, isn't he? Quite good in the ring. But now I'm going to kind of give the other half of the argument, which is that Yo Heikamatsu, is actually the better of the two. So there's Yo. Basically, he had a key role without being in contention to win the tournament. He had a key role in the whole structure and the storytelling of it on the penultimate day. He went into his match with Taiji Ishimori on the last part of the A block, I guess, where if Ishimori won, he would go to the final. If Yo won, Ospreay would go to the final. Ospreay was at ringside tearing his hair out, like getting really stressed and stuff. And Yo was a fantastic babyface in peril. Like Ishimori was like brutalizing him. Yo was holding on. Yes, Yo, not Sho. I knew I'd get them confused at some point. Yo was holding on in submissions, refusing to tap out, until eventually he did tap out. And Ospreay looked heartbroken, but he put his arm around Yo and they walked to the back together. And it was just a nice little moment. Really good storytelling. And yeah, good on you, Yo Heikamatsu. I think you're the better of the two, but a lot of haters out there, a lot of doubters think that your partner's better. So we'll see what happens, but maybe start proving him wrong. Number 3, don't murder me, it's Will Ospreay. Now, okay, right, look, Ospreay had a really good match against Flip Gordon. He was part of that crucial bit of storytelling, really good stuff. And then, oh my goodness, this was controversial. So Meltzer's been talking a lot recently about how Ospreay is the new Dynamite Kid, a really promising, horrendously talented, gifted wrestler who's going to have a tragically short career because his body won't be able to keep up with the style of wrestling that he does. Quite a harsh thing to say about Ospreay. Certainly there are elements of that you could see like being a fair argument. Ospreay does go a million miles an hour in every match, but at the same time, like, bit of a harsh thing to say about someone, but at the same time, Ospreay's just rolled with it. He had a press conference ahead of his match tomorrow at Dominion and played the audio from Meltzer's podcast radio show and just sort of went, yeah, this is what I'm willing to do to keep a hold of this title. Let's do it. You know, no one else is going to put their career on the line like I am. I just thought, what a brilliant way to respond. Like, yes, it's controversial and it brings up issues of injuries and safety and wrestlers maybe not being careful enough in the ring, but at the same time, what a promo. Like, what a clever idea. So well done, Will. Not just for your wrestling this week, but for your smarts as well. For your smarts. I do take it far too seriously, don't I? Number 2, Taiji Ishimori. What a man. Wow. He was, I knew he was good. I knew he was a good wrestler, but his role in not just the semi-final against, the penultimate match against Yo, which we just talked about, but in the final against Takahashi as well. Ishimori is just immediately one of the best wrestlers in the world, it turns out. Like, he's just keeping that little secret, and now he's like, surprise, not only do I have 6 sweet abs, bro, but I'm also one of the best wrestlers in the world. Dave Meltzer raved about this match. He called it the best final in the history of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. I've not seen all the finals, I can't pass judgment on that, but I can say it's the best one that I've ever seen out of like the 3 that I've watched a few more than that, but out of the few that I've seen, it's the best one. There was some crazy stuff in here. The storytelling was on point, the moves were absolutely crisp and everything. I really enjoyed the clash of styles. Ishimori wrestles like an arrow shot from a bow, really direct, really like fast-paced, whereas Takahashi's more out of control and crazy. I really enjoyed that yin and yang blending together. Really good stuff. Spiritual. Ishimori was good, and even though he didn't win, spoiler, he's probably going to get a title shot in future because not only did he push Takahashi to the limit if he wins the title, he also beat Ospreay earlier in the tournament if he wins the finals. So Ishimori could be a future junior heavyweight champion, and not a single person would complain because he is a wonderful professional wrestler. And number 1, as you've probably already guessed by now, and I think it's his second time being number 1 on this series, so congratulations to Romeu Takahashi, my boy, my pick for Best of the Super Juniors. I am the predictions king. I'm not. I'd have the Cultaholic Heavyweight Championship if I was the predictions king still, but sometimes I've got a good call in me, and I said, you know, Takahashi's going to win Best of Super Juniors, and he did, but I did not expect it to be as nerve-wracking and as close and as occasionally terrifying as that final match was. They were brawling in the crowd at one point. Takahashi ran at Ishimori, and he just hurricane ran'd him down a set of stairs. It's one of the scariest bumps. They were a shallow set of stairs, but Takahashi just rolled down them quite sort of out of control, and I just thought, imagine bumping down stairs, man. It's crazy. But he was all right. Well, he was more than all right. He wrestled a fantastic match. He hit a sick pile driver at one point. He kept using that triangle choke that he was using to get wins throughout the tournament, but also didn't win with the triangle choke. He used it to weaken Ishimori, really good storytelling, nailed him with the time bomb, 1, 2, 3, and then broke the trophy in celebration, quite by accident. Not in a cool LIJ way, gonna break the trophy, no, accidentally broke the Best of the Super Juniors trophy. We'll not take that away from him. Great match, and a great match earlier in the week as well against Kishida. So, Romeu Takahashi, man, what a guy. Cannot wait for his match tomorrow. It could steal the show, which is a huge thing to say when Omega and Okada are in the main event, but it actually could. It actually could steal the show. So now let's take a look at the league table. Ospreay has extended his lead a little bit, a smidge at the top over Zack Sabre Jr. Remember, he was only leading by 1 last week. Walter has moved up level with Okada. Who could have seen that coming at the start of the year? Also, Takahashi is the big winner this week, jumping all the way up to 7th place. Now, next week's episode, as I say, is crazy. It's anyone's game. Various candidates could be Wrestler of the Week. You could have Takahashi again, repeating the job after this week. You could have Ospreay and his match against Takahashi. You could have Omega, you could have Okada. That Dominion card is looking absolutely stacked. And who knows what else can happen elsewhere in the world of wrestling. All bets are off. All bets are off. So thank you very much for watching Wrestlers of the Week. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com, and I hope you enjoyed this week. And next week is just, oh my, I'm so excited. And then after that, it's bloody Money in the Bank, isn't it? I mean, yes, Money in the Bank will probably get some people on Wrestlers of the Week, but I'm looking at NXT TakeOver Chicago. So there's an excellent couple of weeks coming up in the Wrestlers of the Week universe. And there's not much more to say. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. Check me out on Twitter at JackTheJobber. Follow all of us at Cultaholic if you want. And if you also want to, you can check out our Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never, ever forget to join us.